All right, y'all. Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com. This is another special episode of Wrestling underscore hip hop. I'm live with the one and only Manny Mars. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. It's a little late for this podcast here, but you got me. You got my time. So yeah, let's get this started.
Yeah, and then like I said, with ComptonMania sent me, he told me to interview you, so we got to see what's going on with you, man, because I'm hearing a lot. I hear you just took the belt, you eliminating people, so what's going on?
Yeah, you're seeing this right here. This the motherfucking man right here. Right here. And this is the title that I got for taking out Rancho Camacho. You see, because I've been doubted a little bit in Compton Mania, seeing that they didn't put me in the main event picture. But after I took out Elijah Friday on that Valentine's Day special, well, you see, they saw me a little different. So now, my first opportunity at this title right here, well, you can see it's living right at home with me, and it ain't going anywhere,
Yeah, I don't see it. So how are you taking them out? What are you doing?
bro. Look, I just do what I gotta do. All right. Whether that means I gotta go call up old bamboo to be by my side, or if I gotta call in some muscle like Damian Grundy. You see, because we all know I'm a smaller guy, right? Everyone comes out here, they doubt me. It happened all when I started wrestling. Everyone was just like, oh, you're just gonna be a cruiserweight. Oh, you're just gonna be you're just gonna have a tag team title, but you're never gonna be the champ. You're never gonna be the man. So I do anything I gotta do. If I gotta be a little Ric Flair, do a little cheating, do whatever I gotta do to get the title, I'm gonna do it. That's why it's here.
Hmm. Yeah, actually, I saw you had three belts, so you still got all three belts.
But you see, there's some complications with one of the belts. You see, because of everything that's been going on, you know, I still got to play it safe. So I had to relinquish one of my belts, unfortunately. But believe me, I'm about to come back and get it back again on the next show. See, that was for the Central Valley Championship. Right here's a motherfucking man championship, right? And then I also got the wild card title. You see, and all those shows are coming up. They're all coming up again this year, and I'm planning on retaining and gaining back some titles.
And then what's the? I see the crown. So what's the crown for?
You see, what they call me the Pinoy Prince, because you see what I represent. See, there's no real like royalty or anything when it comes to Filipinos, or you know we don't got like some kind of monarchy or anything, right? But you know what, I wanted to make sure I represented my people. And you see, I call myself the Pinoy Prince, hence the crown, because I'm always ready to take the throne.
So what's up? So how did you get started in wrestling?
So how did I get started in wrestling? So let's see, let's go back all the way back to 2014. Yeah, let's go back to 2014. So I started out in the Bay. So I'm from the Bay. I'm born and raised Daly City, call it Fogtown, because that's where all the Filipinos are, right? So I started off in a place called Pacifica under Gold Rush Pro Wrestling. And it's kind of funny because when I started off, I was, of course, I'm like a fan and all that, right? So, one of these days I go into a bar and I'm watching whatever WrestleMania was on at that time. And I get flyers for like the show, right? It says Gold Rush Pro Wrestling. Oh, come to the show, come to the show. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll go check it out. And then what happens is I go check it out, I go for a show. I'm a fan, I'm all like cheering and all that. And then, you know, second show, I'm like, all right, I think I can check, let me go see if there's like a school, because what I do, right, or what I did was I was just like an office worker, and I was just bored with everything that was going on in my life, and I was just like, I need to do something that excites me. So that's why I was like, I'm just gonna go to wrestling school. Let's just see what happens. So I found out that Gold Rush Pro Wrestling, they got a school. I show up on the orientation day, and I mean, to be honest, I mean, I killed it really. I mean, wrestling ain't easy, but for me, it was pretty simple. I was pretty much a natural at all of it. You know, you can go ask all kinds of people, and you know, let's see. I'm a name drop you somebody here, Thunder Rosa. You might have
Mhm.
heard Thunder Rosa. Yeah.
That's one of
So
my
we,
favorite.
yeah,
I like her. She's one of my favorite female
oh,
rappers.
I'll tell you right now, we came up together.
Okay.
We both started January 2014, same day orientation. We came up together, and I was beating her and all sorts of stuff. You know, like we were doing stuff in the ring. Okay, let's learn how to do drop kicks. I got it on the first try. You know, let's do all these cardio drills. You know, yeah, okay, she was okay in those, but you know, I was always trying to keep up with her too. Um,
So, what
but
did you have you got like an athletic background?
you know, honestly, I don't even have much of an athletic background. I was always kind of like a rowdy kid, you know, like my high school, we didn't have like a football team, but you know, I was really into football. But like, I guess my high school, they sucked at football. So they'd like stop like trying to, you know, buy equipment and all that. So I was always like, you know, playing with my friends and like lunchtime or whatever, you know, I would skip eating lunch to go play football. And then after that, I would go play basketball with my friends after school. But that was really, you know, I was never, you know, involved in any sports. So I was just like, you know, let me just see what's up with this. And
Yeah,
somehow, you know, some way I figured it out, you know.
yeah, I'm saying
Uh,
because I actually I did a tryout. I just did it for my birthday one year. That shit's hard. And I said I was a Marine. I played football. I did boxing. That shit's hard. So how did you? I'm saying, so where did it come from when you just picked it up? That ain't nothing you can, I don't
I'm
think it's
telling you,
nothing you can pick
Manny
up.
Mars is a natural, bro. Nah, you know, like honestly, I always felt like I was, you know, I find this out too because I trained some people like after a few years, I started training some folks over there. I find out, you know, some people they're kind of like aware about like how to move their body. You know, they can learn things when they see things. And for me, it kind of worked out because, you know, whenever someone like would tell me, you know, like be honest, I wasn't that good at school. Whenever someone would like tell me like like just teach me something, I wouldn't get it right away. But like being in the ring and seeing like my trainers like do the rolls with us, do the drop kicks, show us these moves, I kind of somehow my body understood the kind of like mechanics with it. And you know, I was young enough, and you know, I was like at least that you know you know athletic enough to kind of be like, okay, I think I understand how this works. You know, of course, it didn't happen with like everything, right? We always got like something that was like that we couldn't get over, right? So when they showed us, and that's the thing with wrestling, like you know, I was good at like learn how to do the moves. But the thing that made it really hard was, you know, kind of getting the personality down. You know, that was the hard part for me when it came to wrestling. It's like, you know, you got to make sure you know how to talk in front of an audience. You got to put some, you know, some oomph like in your voice. You got to do this. You know, some people are going to hate you. Some people are going to love you. What matters is that they feel something about you. You know.
So how do you like that crowd interaction? Because I know you get the booze. So how do
I got the
you
booze. Honestly, man, I love the booze. I love the booze because you know I love messing with people, and you know being a you know being like kind of like a smaller kid, even like kind of growing up and all that. You know, I was like, you know, it was kind of hard for me to pick a fight. You know what I mean? And like talk a bunch of crap because you know there's always some dudes who are bigger than me. But like in wrestling, I feel like I could just say whatever I want, and I could just like kind of release all that tension. And you know anybody who kind of like any fans who come around like doubting me, you know, I can just kind of blow it up in their face. And it feels like, you know, I'm talking to those same people who I grew up with who didn't like think I was going to be anything. So I don't mind it at all. What really matters is that I'm happy with where I am.
I was gonna say I noticed too. Like it just seems like in wrestling, like the baby face is only as good as the heel. Like if they don't have a good heel, like if Hogan didn't have like Roddy Piper or Orndorff, or Sting didn't have
Mm-hmm.
Ric Flair, or Stone Cold didn't have all the people he had, like you
Exactly.
know. So I would say was you always a heel, or did you change to it?
Man, you know what? It was when I came up in wrestling, because like I said, like I did real well when it came to training. Like in fact, like I was the fastest like graduate from like my training school. It took everyone like a year, over a year. It took me 9 months to finally get my debut. Um, and people were like, "Oh yeah, you're a smaller guy. We're gonna make sure to get the crowd pumped up. Say yay. Slap some hands, say hi to everybody, and all that." And I was like, "Okay, okay, yeah, I'll try it. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Whatever you say, coach. Whatever you say." And so I do it, and I'm just like, a year, 2 years in, whatever, or 3 years in, I'm just like, man, I'm not getting anything. I'm just like, I feel like I'm just doing the same old stuff, being like just a regular wrestler. You know what I mean? Saying like, oh yeah, come on. But I was just like, man, I want to add a little something. I want to have more fun with it. And then that's when I came up with the whole like kind of Pinoy Prince like persona. Was just like, you know what? I need to find something in me that's like that kind of represents me, right? And to be honest, like for me, it's not about being like a good guy or like a bad guy. It's like, you know what, if I'm cocky because I do believe in like my own stuff. I believe in my own stuff, and it's time that people who look like me, they start kind of believing in themselves. It's like, talk your trash. It's time to stop being humble all the time, because that's what I was taught this whole time. It's like, oh, just be humble and be glad you got a spot. I'm like, no, being happy that I got a spot doesn't get me this belt. you know I gotta make sure I get my own shit in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta like nowadays, like shit, man, I be noticing all them damn like a lot of female wrestlers got OnlyFans and shit. So it's like you gotta promote some other shit. You gotta you
Oh,
gotta promote yourself, because shit, what they release you, like especially like okay, you in WWE and you get released. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
bro.
You gotta have some more money coming in. So they gotta but not just the OnlyFans. I just see a lot of
No, no,
wrestlers
no,
have other businesses and stuff. I noticed that.
bro. No, I get it. Like when I see a lot of the girls do the OnlyFans, I'm like, yo, good for them, because you know what? You can't just make money off of the bookings you make in wrestling. You got to
Right.
do a bunch of side gigs and all that. And you know what? If I could flex an OnlyFans, I would do an OnlyFans or whatever too. You know what I mean? And I try to find other ways to like get money. What is it? Last weekend, I had a buddy tell me like, hey, I just need to so I'm looking at working out, but I want something to motivate me. Do you think you can like do some in-ring training with me? And he's just like a regular dude. His name's John Yabes. He's like a stand-up comedian. I'm just like, yeah, bro, no, I can help you out. He's like, yeah, and it's cool, man. I'll throw you some money too. I'm not trying to do this for free. I'm like, no, I was gonna charge you anyway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then so I show him, we go into the ring. I show him like, here are some rolls. This is how you roll. This is how you bump. And then he found out real quick it wasn't easy. He started puking like the first hour in. And then like I'm like, all right, let me show you some moves too. You know what I mean? And then he paid me. I was like, man, this is the kind of stuff that I got to do to make a little extra money on the side. When it comes to wrestling. So
Yeah, I remember. I went to the training. I made it through though, but only thing I didn't like, man, they had us rolling. Like when we rolled in the ring, it was cool, but they made us roll outside on that little mat. Man, that shit was hurting. Then, man, I think I fucked up my shoulder then when we did the one outside. I was like, shit.
dude,
I made it through though. Like they tried to,
that's good.
right when we started, they tried to make us do like hella squats, but I made it. It wasn't that bad. I think it wasn't nobody that didn't make it, so it wasn't that bad. But the one I went
Yeah.
out here is it's called SoCal Pro. That's the one I went
Oh,
to.
so good. Oh, I
Yeah,
know Saco Pro. They got, yeah, Judas and stuff over there.
yeah, you did. That's the
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
I would say so. What's next for you? I know you got an event coming up with ComptonMania. I know you got a main event coming. Who you fighting again?
Man, honestly, it doesn't really matter.
Uh,
Um, for me, I mean, I'll take on anybody. I've taken on Jay Baptiste before. He's like twice my twice my size. You know what I mean? Camacho, he's like, like when I was in that match with Camacho, I know he's like one of those. He's one of those wrestlers who like go into training like every day, trying to like learn some new stuff. So I can work with someone who thinks they're technical or someone who's like bigger than me or fat or even faster than me because I try to kind of like ride all of that in between so I know exactly what to handle, you know what I mean? So honestly, bro, it doesn't matter. Elijah Friday could come back after I made him, run out of town and all that. It doesn't matter. It can be Jay Baptiste, it can be Judiz. Really, I'm ready for anybody. It could be Candy Girl. I don't care.
Are you ready for Judiz?
You know what? Me and Judiz, we did have a match back in the day, a few years ago. Honestly, I really like that match, and I wouldn't mind getting in the ring with him again for real. Like,
Who won that match?
don't matter. It don't matter.
I mean, he must have won. I'm gonna ask him
And
then.
you know what? I blame I blame the guy in my corner. That's it. That's the only
Uh,
reason. It wasn't my fault. I'll tell you that.
well, yeah, I was saying. So, what other promotions do you wrestle in?
Yeah, we all know I got ComptonMania, right? Um, I got this other show called Blacklist Pro. They're actually coming up February 20th. I don't got a title over there, but what I do over there is I defend my crown, and so far I've been undefeated at defending my crown over there. So we're gonna see what's up. Of course, I'm gonna win. Same results. And then we got CWA, California Wrestling Association. That's where I had the Central Valley Championship. It's kind of like if I would compare it to anything, it's like their intercontinental title. Like I said, I couldn't make their last show because all the COVID stuff, and I'm like, I might be an asshole, but I'm not gonna try to. I'm not gonna try to get anyone sick. So I stuck back here, and then I sent them over the title, and then now we got somebody else with the belt. So I'm gonna see what's up with him the next time we got a show.
And where you get your jackets from?
I'm gonna keep that kind of a secret because I don't want anyone stealing my stuff. But I'm gonna just say I get it online.
Uh,
I get them online, different places, really. So yeah, you've seen it's all shiny. I get they got all kinds of designs on them. So
yeah, I would say I like what Seth Rollins been wearing lately. He be clean.
he is. When I look at him and he comes out, even when he comes out doing his promos, I'm like, oh, that's how I need to dress up when I go to the ring. You know what I mean? So I dig his style too. Every time I see that guy, I'm just like, man, that's how I'm trying to show up into the ring.
And then if somebody asks you who is Manny Mars, what would you say?
Manny Mars, he is Pinoy Prince. He is the Manila Mauler. He's the bad boy from Boracay. I represent my people. I represent anybody who looks like me. I'm a guy who's trying to change the main event scene for the better. Because this is pro wrestling and everybody deserves to be in that main event.
And then I would say how you feel like is it like wrestling organizations in the Philippines?
Yeah, there's one. I don't know if they're still running, but there's this place called PWR Pro Wrestling. Pro Wrestling. I forgot what the R stood for. Revolution or something like that.
Hmm.
But they're a big promotion. Hopefully they're still running because they did ask me to work there once, but I was like, it just didn't work out. But hopefully with all the stuff happening, it's gonna be all chill to travel, and I can make my way back to the motherland.
Yeah, I know about TJ Perkins. Was it like
Hmm.
more Filipino wrestlers? I might be missing some,
Oh
but I
yeah,
know about him.
Dave, big one, Dave Batista.
Oh yeah. I
He's
forgot about
Filipino,
him.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave Batista. There's some around here. I think Koto Hero's like he's Filip. I think Koto Hero he's Filipino, like half. RJ Santos, he's around here too. He was my tag team partner. We got tag belts together up in NorCal. There's also like some guys on Impact. I think the guy's name is Fala Ba.
Yeah, the big dude. Yeah.
He tagged with TJ Perkins. Yeah, man, I know I must be missing a few, but we're out. Oh, of course. Um, Jeff Cobb. Jeff
Okay.
Cobb.
Okay.
He's I remember him because he used to work at NorCal for a few years too. He's a he's a good dude. He's like literally the strongest person I know.
Yeah, you look like it. You look strong as hell. I'm
I
saying,
was
what about what about the female wrestlers?
oh looking out. Yeah. Shotzi Blackheart,
Okay.
WWE.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
Filipino, yeah. Who else out here? Who else is out here? There's one here in SoCal. I forgot her name. I think her name is Kita something. Dang, I have to like find her. But it's funny you say all this because like I've been it's funny. This is probably the first time I'm going to be mentioning this on a podcast. But I've been messing around with the idea of having a Filipino wrestling show. You know what I mean? Um, Maybe like for like during like Filipino Heritage Month or something like that. I mentioned it before, but it's like called. I told like maybe handful of people, but I want to call it Luchas and Lumpias.
Man, you know what? I was just about to ask you. My next question going to be like, I was going to say, what you know about lumpia?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Told you, bro.
my homie, like even my homie, he's Filipino. He was a doctor in the Philippines, but then he came over here and he a scientist. But he like real smart. But I used to always kick it with him. Then he had like the lumpia, pig, the
Oh,
little fish,
gotcha.
little fish.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about. How did you like the lumpia?
yeah. Oh, the lumpia is good.
Good, right?
Yeah,
Decent.
the lumpia busted. I like that lumpia, man. But yeah, I mean, I think that'll be good, man, because I know it's like, especially if you do it in California, I know it's a market for
Yeah,
it.
just
So
gotta find the right spot, man.
yeah, that'll be dope.
Yeah, it's like I mean, how can you go wrong? You got luchas, you got lumpias. Bro, come on.
Yeah, I would say, what would you like to say to your fans and supporters?
To everyone who's supporting me, who's not booing me, um, buy a shirt. If you haven't already, buy a shirt. Find me Prince Manny Mars on Venmo. Um, but for real, like I appreciate all my supporters. I see you all. It makes my day when I get a message from somebody saying how dope they think I am. And yeah, man. I mean, really, I just appreciate it. I did this whole thing, mostly for myself, but it's nice to know I got people who are also like looking out for me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say too, man. Like sometimes, like even though you the heel, people still like you because like I like MJF, man. Even though like he tight to me, like he be killing CM Punk. I like him. He killing it right now. He young, like I be like damn. So I be happy because I be like man, he gonna be around for a minute because he's so damn young. But
Yeah,
he been I like him even though he's a heel. But
is it part?
sometimes you don't like the let's say the fan favorite be too cheesy sometimes, so you like to see them get beat up and shit.
That's what I'm saying because honestly, like I said, for me, it's like not trying to be a good guy or bad guy. It's like believing in what I believe in because you can't win people over by just being like
Yeah.
just doing that all the time, and in like your generic gear. I think that's not what wrestling is about. Wrestling, like it's, I think about, why did we get into wrestling? Because we saw the way Stone Cold Steve Austin talked to Vince McMahon, or we see how Shawn Michaels is dressed up for WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like half the time you don't even remember what the match is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was about to ask you who was your favorite wrestlers?
Um, yeah, I my favorite wrestlers, it's like kind of a typical like. But I gotta be honest, it's like it's it's Stone Cold, right? Stone Cold got me into wrestling. Jeff Hardy made me want to try some stupid moves, and then CM Punk made me want to get into wrestling. So those three are like my top three really.
You heard what happened with Jeff Hardy?
Oh yeah, he's yeah, I heard he declined like the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because they fired him because they thought he was high as shit. He wasn't even high. That shit
I
came back.
heard I heard about that. I was like, oh, he came back negative. Oh my god,
Yeah, I wasn't
that's just
signing either.
messed
Then they
up.
tried to sign him back. Like, nah, man. Like, nah, y'all should
Right.
have waited till y'all got the results anyway. Why
Yeah.
y'all gonna fire that man on the spot? Y'all should have waited till the results came back anyway before y'all did that.
Exactly. And that was good on Jeff to be like, no, you guys, I don't even want to be in the Hall of Fame right
It's
now.
like,
So
man, I don't know if you watch All Elite, but man, it's like I don't even know what WWE does sometimes. It's like they're giving them like you gave them all the undisputed. like you gave them undisputed.
that's what
Then
I'm saying.
now you giving them the Hardys. It's like, come on, bro. Like you know he ain't coming back. He was probably waiting on his contract to go to WWE with Matt Hardy. So that shit.
It's rough. And I saw the Royal Rumble, and it was the first time I watched a pay-per-view from like start to finish, like the whole thing.
It was
And
good.
it was good, but man, the people they got to win the Royal Rumble, I mean, at least the men's one, I was just like, damn, why did Brock Lesnar win again? You know what I
Heard
mean?
I guess they was trying to say that a lot of people backstage was mad because I guess they said Shane, the one that booked it, and they were saying like
Oh,
they didn't like
I
how he, he was at the end. He shouldn't have been there anyway. Like, why the hell he at the end? You ain't been there the whole damn year, and all of a sudden you popping
ooh,
up at the end in the
they
final, like the final contestant, his ass up in there. Come
they
on,
needed
bro.
a surprise. They needed a surprise. You know what I mean? But you
I
know
was
who
gonna
I
say,
thought? I thought
huh?
they were gonna get someone from like New Japan to show up. That would have been sick. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I thought it was gonna be someone from New Japan gonna come out, but nobody. But I was really hoping for it to be Mickey James who won at that in the women's Royal Rumble because
yeah.
that would have been, man.
Nah, I knew that wasn't gonna happen. You know, he ain't doing that shit right there. I was
I
thinking,
know.
I was thinking that she was gonna get a little further,
Hmm.
but I guess not. But I was like, yeah, she'll probably get a little further and get to the end. But you know,
Yeah,
they ain't gonna push her too far because she will impact. You know how they go.
yeah. I thought they were gonna take a chance and be like, I mean, they're WWE, so they're like, yeah, okay, we want more people to watch WrestleMania. This is gonna be interesting.
I'm gonna
You know
say,
what I mean?
I like the. I be thinking he do real good, man. Bad Bunny.
You know what? For real, I forgot. I saw someone on Facebook posted this, but they're like, man, if we got Bad Bunny and Pat McAfee to do a match, I bet you it's gonna be hella good. And I'm like,
They be resting
I
their
mean,
ass off.
what?
I said they be, but that shit was it was tight. They just showed. I was just watching it before we talked. It was Rey
That,
Mysterio. He had his mask off, so he had a
mm,
towel over his face. He was
uh-huh.
covering his face, and he had his mask. He gave it to Bad Bunny.
He's
Yeah, I was like,
actually pretty good. And see, that's what I'm
yeah,
talking
he's
about. Like
real good.
yeah,
Yeah,
when it comes to training, some people they know how to do the moves right away,
you
But that
you can tell he working out though. Like he bigger than he was the last time he was on there. Like he got some size now, so they
oh, he's
probably
trying to
tell
come
him.
back.
Yeah, they probably telling him like, look, we're gonna keep bringing you around. Just keep training. And he probably keep
Mhm.
training. He doing his thing. I like him though. Like he doing his
Yeah.
thing because a lot of times they bring in people that really don't be doing nothing. That shit look crazy. But I like
Yeah,
when
they don't even care. But you can tell he's putting time in the ring. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that from what he's doing because
yeah you be
he can
watching. You
tell.
say you watch New Japan.
I've seen a little bit. I haven't been catching up. Sometimes I see what Jeff Cobb is doing because.
Man, that should be like I don't know. I think when I be watching New Japan, it just seem like everything they moves are stiffer.
Yeah, yeah,
That
that's for
shit,
sure.
like it seems like that shit. Oh man, like I don't
Yeah,
know. That shit it seems stiff. Like all the moves. it
that's
seems
that's
like
what I that's what I like about it though. You know what I mean? Like when I came up, and then we were learning how to like do strikes in the ring, right? They're like, all right, I remember because it was me, Thunder Rosa, and then like the other trainees, and then we got
Mhm.
my coaches, and we got some other vets in the area who came in because they're all gonna get a chance to hit us, and then they're like, yo, okay, so this is how we hit in NorCal. you hit as hard as you can, just don't injure anybody. That's the way we learned, and it was just like it made everything look more real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that's what I was listening to somebody. They was saying they was talking about how like it's Bret Hart that he don't really do that, but they was saying like kind of what you were saying. They was like you gotta hit him a little bit to make that shit look real. You don't want that shit to look crazy. Like
No,
sometimes I'd rather, like you said, make like you just said, hit them as much as you can without hurting them, but don't
yeah,
just not hit them at all. That shit looks crazy. People can see
yeah.
that shit, especially like I mean, I think the kids like they don't see that shit, but the older
Mhm.
people they can see that shit. So
They can tell.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it's like you can't be out there looking crazy, especially
yeah,
like man, I noticed like myself, like when you see that shit live, it's like it's different, bro. Like
yeah.
the TV and the announcers, and that can take away from you seeing shit, but when you
Hmm.
watching it up close, oh, you can
Hmm.
see all that shit. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta do it.
And there's some wrestlers too when you're in the ring with them. You try to hit them, and if you're not hitting them hard enough, they're just gonna be. You hit them, they're gonna look at you like, and then like really try to sock you. You know what I mean? And be like, yo, you gotta hit me harder than that. And so it's it's kind of disrespectful too to be hitting too soft.
All right,
Yeah,
man. So what's the social media again for everybody?
yeah, it's all good. It's Prince Manny Mars. You can catch me on Twitter, catch me on IG. Mainly use IG, Facebook. I mean, I got that too. Got the fan page there. But that's pretty much what I got. I got a new. I just got some T-shirts made. So anybody who wants to buy one of those, I'll ship those out to you. But that's me, man.
Man, where you see yourself like if you can go to any promotion you want to go to, where will you go?
Um, NWA.
Yeah, I like NWA.
I like the style, man. I like that old school style. You know what I mean? Like AEW is cool, WWE is cool. Of course, anyone would want to go to those two, right? But like when I see like the wrestling and the kinds of wrestlers who are there and how they do their promos, like I'm like, damn, that's kind of cool. And I kind of like, I like retro shit. So it's like when I see them doing all the retro stuff, like I get pretty into it. I'm into like that old school kind of wrestling.
Yeah, 'cause I be looking at it too, like, okay, like, you got a lot of wrestlers from like they be just like football athletes or Olympians.
Hmm.
They go to WWE, but shit, you ain't gonna really get no shine. Like you go to NBA or you go to like PCW Ultra, they can
Hmm.
like really showcase you. So like
That's
to me,
true.
it's like, would you rather go like WWE where you're not gonna really be wrestling, or would you rather go somewhere where they can really showcase you and build you up, and you
Yeah.
really get them reps in? So and then I don't know, I just like NWA. I be watching it a lot. I need to catch up with it. I like Major League Wrestling too.
Oh, they're good too. Yeah, yeah. I've seen I know Danny Limelight and Slice Boogie, they're killing it over there. So it's exciting to see what they're doing. But yeah, I mean MLW will be great too. But yeah, I mean NWA is just the style, bro. The style is like I can get down with that.
Yeah, Limelight, that's the homie, man. I had him on the podcast a few times, and then he a Marine too. We both Marines. That's the homie.
Oh.
Yeah, he shot it, man. Like I said, I hope. I don't know. Most of what my goal is, like what I do in music. I interview a lot of people, like a lot of artists before they get big. So I interviewed him like a couple of years ago. Now he doing his thing. So I hope the same thing with you, man. Like next time we
Oh,
talk, I want you to be wherever you want to be. Then I want to talk to you then, see how you doing.
no, Paul, appreciate it for real. I really do. Yeah,
All right.
hopefully I get there. I mean, I can see myself there, so it's
All
all
right.
good.
We out, y'all. To the next time.
All right, Paul.